U.S. regulators divided over cryptocurrency regulation. Politicians insulting crypto are found to be being paid by payment processors. A new financial advisor in the White House could spell out a big tax break for cryptocurrency investors. And Lightning strikes as a beta version of the Lightning Network makes its way to a full release, allowing for instant and near feeless transactions on the Bitcoin network. We got all your headlines mixed with some daily market analysis. Your FUD TV daily update starts now. Jumping straight into the charts, we can see that at the top of our biggest gainers and losers in the top 100, we have Aeon, Syndicator, List, Nexus, Elf, Bitcoin Cash. If we look at the total market caps, we can see in our top 10 coins, we don't have a single red coin, with Bitcoin Cash really over-indexing through the herd here, which is kind of interesting because as we see, Bitcoin just had some amazing news of the Lightning Network beta release, so it's kind of interesting to see Bitcoin Cash making a pump, but then again, this could be some of the Bitcoin Cash whales trying to make it stand out from the herd a little bit as good news circles around the Bitcoin OG network. As we cruise down, we can see some real standout winners here with almost 25% gains or 25% gains at the top here and only 4 or 5 coins here in the red in the top 100. As we cruise over to the next 100, we can see some serious gains coming out of experience points. Decentraland with a huge spike. If you guys don't know about Decentraland, it's almost like a virtual world that they're creating. Not almost, it is a virtual world that eventually you're going to be able to go VR live within, and you can like build a casino and live a whole second life. It's crazy stuff. So really cool project. We have MediShares, Sentiment. We have Gennaro Network, Storm, POA, and Oyster. Oyster is another project I'm a big fan of. They're trying to repurpose the means by which internet sites make money and essentially turn them into processors, have internet sites do processing as a way to make money instead of sell advertisements, as a way to sort of provide a more ad-free, streamlined internet experience for you. So there's a lot of cool coins up here. It's nice to see some good pumps coming out. Hopefully we can get these coins to start even, as you can see, you know, they're pumping, some of these coins are pumping way over Bitcoin's return of 5%. So hopefully we can start seeing some of these alts really start to make runs. We can start seeing these products start to hit market, and we can start seeing the market start to grow. To be honest though, a lot of people are looking at this as potential to be a slightly prolonged bear market, potentially up to a few months, at least till the middle of the year it's looking like. And so Bitcoin, as you see its dominance growing, you can see that Bitcoin is the new Bitcoin, and people are probably going to get back in the Bitcoin ship. I personally have been consolidating a little bit around Bitcoin, but it's just so hard with these low prices to avoid getting into some of these hot alts that you just love to talk about and love to share about. But it looks like OG Daddy Bitcoin is coming back with its 42.6% dominance even during this market slump. Speaking of Bitcoin, we have a Lightning update for you. That's right, Lightning has struck, and we now have a beta version of the Lightning Network. Lightning Network CEO Elizabeth Stark explains that Bitcoin could be like your savings account, your store of value, and then if you want to transact, like that traditional example of getting a cup of coffee, well, you can move it over to your checking account, much like a traditional banking, except your checking account would, in this case, be a Lightning Network account. Creators of the network are still preaching caution in quoting John Oliver's Crayful Gang, trying to say that they don't want you to put too much money on the network just yet, as it's still completely untested. Not completely untested, but it's still a potential that it has bugs and could lose some of your transactions, could lose some of your coins. So be careful and don't overuse the Lightning Network right now, but understand that this potential revelation is literally the fix for speed, transaction speeds, and transaction fees. For all those new networks that have 0 fees and instant transactions or whatever that you hear them claiming their value proposition is, well, guess what? That coin is now Bitcoin. So get excited because the Bitcoin Lightning Network is real. In other news, the US Congress is truly divided over to how to handle cryptocurrency regulations. On one side, they are truly acknowledging the power and the innovation that's coming from within this community. As Mike Lempres of Coinbase tried to explain to this committee, entrepreneurs don't need to know these insiders to raise capital if they are launching ICOs, and that means that it's a very diversified and open world for finding funding and launching new projects. Unfortunately, there's really no unity among US regulators. As for any given coin, the SEC may consider it a security, while the CFTC considers a commodity. and the IRS determines that it's property while the financial sector considers it money. We need some clear regulation frameworks. What's clear is that we have some interesting opinions being expressed to these regulators. For example, if policymakers get the line between commodity tokens and securities offerings wrong, and if it isn't made clear by regulators, it will destroy the viability of these innovations and cede leadership of this technology to the rest of the world. I think America's in a pretty interesting phase of development where for the first time in probably a long time, we've seen ourselves slipping behind in various forms of innovation. And I think that that sentiment is very much so understood by our congressional leaders. If lawmakers are able to understand that this is a place of financial and technological innovation and not tomfoolery or scam artistry, then they can truly help us grow this whole industry and potentially become one of the leading blockchain environments in the world. That would be the dream, is an understanding Congress that helps cultivate this environment much in the way they did for the free internet. Unfortunately, not all members of this committee were as understanding, as Representative Sherman of California displayed his clear resentment for cryptocurrency, saying, "Cryptocurrencies are a crock. They help terrorists and criminals move money around the world. They help startup companies commit fraud. They take money, and 1% of the time they actually create a useful business. But then again, I dare say that some tiny percent of all larceny and crime helps finance something that turns out to be useful." So wow, there's a lot to unpack here, but before even caring about what this guy says and trying to get into this and try to actually wrestle with this, let's just look at this guy right here. Brad Sherman, who made headlines by saying that Bitcoin is a crock. Sherman actually went on to say that this branch of fintech is only popular with guys who want to sit in their pajamas and tell their wives they're going to be millionaires. What you need to know about this guy is that he's received more campaign donations during this current fiscal year from a digital payment processor than any other company, which means that his daddy that he answers to is essentially a company that's going to be disrupted by cryptocurrencies and this digital asset revolution that we're embarking upon. Does this really mean anything that you have a regulator, essentially a talking head, who's been bought? No, it doesn't. This is really the first of many talking heads that we can assume will be bought and paid for by big banks, payment processors, and all of the businesses that are set to be eviscerated by the blockchain revolution. So strap in, guys, because we got a lot more turbulence ahead. In an interesting turn of events, Trump's new economic advisor seems to hint at lower capital gains rates for taxation, which isn't a total surprise, but it would be a total boon for cryptocurrency investors, as that is how we are being taxed. If you're a trader or cryptocurrency investor, they will be taxed as capital gains, either short-term or long-term, and so having a more understandable, more hospitable capital gains tax policy would certainly be advantageous for the cryptocurrency investors. Whether it would be advantageous for the country as a whole is yet to be seen. Thanks so much for watching our FUD TV Daily Update. If you enjoyed it, don't be afraid to smash that like button. It really helps us and YouTube know you enjoyed this content. Of course, if you're an investor or an enthusiast in this space, subscribing to this channel is not a bad idea, as we do multiple cryptocurrency videos each and every day, and we try to bring you the newest and truest in this space. I'm Elio Trades, and it's been an absolute pleasure having you with us here on FUD TV, and we'll catch you very soon on the next episode.